Have you ever wondered why the most advanced aircraft in the world are still held together by millions of rivets instead of simply being welded like cars or ships? Welding has become the standard in modern industry, yet in aviation, it's still used only in very limited areas. And the reason isn't tradition, it's physics, materials, and the extreme demands of flight. So before we go further, subscribe to the channel because the deeper you look into aviation, the crazier the engineering becomes. Now, let's see why rivets still dominate the skies. Let's break it down. Welding joins metals by locally heating the material until the edges partially melt and fuse into a single structure. In most industries, this method is fast, efficient, and cost-effective. But an aircraft operates in a completely different environment. Every flight subjects the airframe to constant vibration, repeated stress cycles, pressure changes, and massive temperature variations, all while meeting some of the strictest reliability standards in engineering. The first reason is metal fatigue and how welded joints behave under repeated stress cycles. An aircraft doesn't just vibrate occasionally. Over its lifetime, it goes through tens of thousands of flight cycles: takeoff, climb, cabin pressurization. The fuselage slightly expands. Landing, depressurization. The structure contracts again. This constant expansion and contraction is known as cyclic fatigue, one of the main causes of structural failure in aviation. A welded joint is an area that has been exposed to extremely high temperatures and then rapidly cooled. As a result, the material around the weld forms what engineers call a heat-affected zone. In this region, residual stresses can appear, and depending on the alloy and manufacturing process, fatigue resistance may become lower than in the original metal. That doesn't mean welded structures automatically crack. But for thin aircraft fuselages operating under constant fatigue loads, welded joints often behave in a more complex and less predictable way than riveted or bolted connections, where damage usually develops locally and is easier to detect, isolate, and repair. A riveted structure works very differently. Instead of concentrating stress along a single continuous seam, riveted joints distribute the load across thousands of separate fastening points. If damage or fatigue begins in one area, it usually doesn't turn into an instant catastrophic failure. In most cases, it develops gradually and can be detected during scheduled inspections long before becoming critical. The second reason is materials. Not every material can be welded the same way. Modern aircraft use a combination of aluminum alloys, titanium, steel in specific high-load areas, and composite materials. Aluminum alloys are significantly more difficult to weld than steel. Many high-strength aerospace aluminum alloys are extremely sensitive to heat exposure. Without specialized welding techniques, the process can noticeably reduce strength and fatigue resistance around the weld area. Composites, meanwhile, cannot be welded in the traditional sense at all. Instead, engineers use adhesive bonding, mechanical fasteners, and integrated composite panels. And when different materials need to be connected, for example, metal and composite structures, bolts, rivets, titanium fasteners, and adhesives are usually far more practical than welding because these materials expand, deform, and react to heat differently. That's why rivets, bolts, titanium fasteners, and advanced bonding technologies still remain one of the most reliable and universal solutions in modern aircraft construction. The third reason is skin thickness and the risk of deformation. Aircraft skin panels and structural components are often only a few millimeters thick. Welding in these conditions means intense localized heating, and that creates serious engineering challenges. There's a risk of warping, structural deformation, residual internal stresses, and loss of geometric precision. Even small distortions in the fuselage or wing structure can negatively affect aerodynamics, complicate assembly, and increase the likelihood of long-term fatigue damage. Riveted construction avoids exposing large areas of material to extreme heat, allowing engineers to assemble the aircraft while preserving the original geometry of the structure. The fourth reason is maintenance and repairability. An aircraft isn't built for a few years of use. It's designed to be inspected, repaired, and maintained for decades. Riveted structures are much easier to service in real operating conditions. Technicians can locally remove fasteners, replace a damaged panel or section of skin, and perform certified repairs without rebuilding entire structural sections. Now let's talk about the rivets themselves. Aircraft construction doesn't rely on just one type of fastener. It uses an entire fastening system designed for different structural tasks. The most common are solid rivets. These are the foundation of many primary structural joints and are typically used when technicians have access to both sides of the structure during assembly. Then there are blind rivets, sometimes called pull rivets. They're used in areas where there's no access to the back side of the structure. In critical zones, however, they can only be used under strict certified engineering requirements, and rivets are only part of the picture. Modern aircraft also use specialized fastening systems such as high-lock bolts, lock bolts, and other aerospace-grade fasteners designed for high-strength structural applications. Installing a rivet is far from a primitive process. Each hole is drilled and prepared within extremely tight tolerances. The rivet is inserted, the second head is formed, and the entire connection is then inspected. And in aviation, inspection is never done by eye. Engineers measure tolerances, fit quality, installation force, and, when required, use non-destructive testing methods to detect hidden defects without damaging the structure. There's also a historical reason why aviation became with welding. As aircraft started flying higher, faster, and farther, engineers discovered that welded joints in thin fuselage structures were less predictable under long-term fatigue loads. Over thousands of pressurization cycles, microscopic stress concentrations could develop around welded areas, especially in the heat-affected zone. A riveted structure behaves differently. Instead of concentrating stress along one continuous seam, the load is distributed across thousands of fastening points. If one fastener weakens, neighboring ones can partially share the load. In aviation, this kind of redundancy is critical. There's another major advantage: inspection and maintenance. Cracks inside welded joints can develop beneath the surface and remain difficult to detect without advanced inspection methods like ultrasound or X-ray scanning. Riveted structures often show warning signs earlier: small gaps, movement, or wear, making defects easier to spot during routine maintenance before they become dangerous. That's why aircraft still use millions of rivets today. Not because the technology is outdated, but because it remains one of the safest, most predictable, and most repairable solutions ever created for flight. So, what do you think will replace rivets first? New materials, entirely new aircraft designs, or a completely different joining technology? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, because aviation engineering gets even crazier the deeper you go. And trust me, we're only scratching the surface.